All right, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Um, I've gotten a lot of calls, and people have been asking me for information outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A lot of persons have hailed today a dark day for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is how a lot of persons have hailed this day, which is the 12th of February 2025. And so I've gotten a lot of WhatsApp messages and calls from outside of St. Vincent, people seeking information as to what transpired in the appeal case over the so-called pandemic that we had in 2021, 2022, 2023. And there was a case of teachers not wanting to take what people call today the arm juice, because I have to be very succinct at what I say on this platform. A lot of people did not want to take that substance into their body. And so they were basically fired from their jobs. The appeal case was today, the judgment in the appeal case was today. I want to take you back just a moment. Let's go back to during the pandemic of 2021, when it started, whatever, 2020, 21, 22, whatever. During that period, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, under its statutory rules and orders of number 28 of 2021, says as a public health measure, we required that some categories of public workers take a substance in order to continue working. I think we all know what that substance is. It It meant that those who failed to take the substance within the requisite time frame were not allowed to be at their workplaces and were deemed to have abandoned their jobs. So this is how the government of the day had framed this statutory rule and regulation, saying that those who did not take this substance, they were not allowed at their workplaces and they were deemed to have abandoned their jobs. Despite this, many of the persons who were deemed to have abandoned their jobs showed up at their workplace. And if you go to the dictionary has three meanings for the word abandon. But I want to look at the second one here, which is give up completely a practice or a course of action. Make this make sense. If you go to work every day, have you abandoned your job? You check in at the same time that you check in every day. Have you abandoned your job? No, you have not. But this is what was said to persons in St. Vincent. If you didn't take that substance into your body by a certain time, you would have deemed to abandon your job. Abandon mean give up completely a practice or course of action. So if you're a teacher and you get up every morning and you head to the classroom, that's your course of action. That's your practice. That's your course of action. You teach, you go. Your practice is to go and you teach your course of action. So you go there, and because you did not take that substance into your arm, here is the government saying you have been deemed to abandon your job. Well, they have changed the whole definition of abandon. That is what have been done here. They have changed the whole meaning of what the word abandon means. And that is so sad. And today, hundreds of persons looked forward to a judgment, although some have gone back to their jobs because they had no choice in the matter. Some were told if they took one dose of the substance, they could come back. Some were told, look, you could come back. Um, but the question about it is the treatment of people and the way you framed and the way you did it. Some people lost their houses in their prospect because there was no money to pay their mortgages. Some people had children at universities. Some people turned to selling groundnuts and peanuts on the side of the road and did other things. Went to farming just to try to hustle to save their cars, their homes, their children education. It was a horrible time. And of all the 13 countries, I would say, in CARICOM or whatever it is, in the region, the countries in the region, St. Vincent apparently was the only one that had this tyrannical behavior going on. I would say it was tyrannical. But that's the way it is. The public servants, of course, would have gone to the court and they would have put in a submission to the court. Justice Esco Henry in 2023 said that the government's mandate was unconstitutional. He said it was unconstitutional. That's what Judge Esco Henry said in 2023. So the first time the public servants won a major victory, those who were fired, and basically the court was saying reinstall these people, give them back their spaces, and give them what is due to them. That was not done. The government was stiff-necked. That's what the Bible called like that, stiff-necked. And so they said, no, we're going to appeal this. And so they went to the appeals court. Of course, they went to the appeal court, and today the judgment was handed down from the appeal court. And of course, the government won the appeal. That's where it is right now. You know, I have a lot of friends who would have took that substance, and today they're not with me. Some of them are not with me. They're dead. Some have ailments. I have a friend, a female friend. Her menstrual cycle comes 4 times a month now. She's bleeding so heavy. And she says she's not sure how long her body will be able to take that. A lot of people, a lot of things happen to them. And all of us must not behave as if we don't know what happened to people. A lot of people are still shy. But a lot of us, and I believe a lot of us know people, a lot of things have happened to, health-wise. So let's get out of that and see what happened today. The information was that, let me get the information for you. Right. So on February the 12th, which is today, the Eastern Caribbean Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the St. Vincent government's decision to institute a mandate for public servants in 2021. The court, in so doing, overturned Justice Esco Henry's decision in 2023 that the government mandate was unconstitutional. Justice of Appeal Eddie Ventros delivered the judgment of the majority. The decision was split 2-1. Justice of Appeal Wallbank dissented. There was no order as to cause at that time. So 2 judges voted in favor of what the government appeal was, and 1 went against. So it was 2-1. The government had argued that the High Court judge, Justice Esco Henry, erred when she ruled in March 2023. The government decision to fire teachers who did not take the substance or public servants breached natural justice, contravened the Constitution, and was unlawful, improper, and void. So this is what the judge said in 2023. And the government argued that what the judge had said was not correct. And so attorney for the public servants at that time told the court, look, uphold the decision of the judge. Because if you don't, it is saying that it would allow the government to do as it wishes in the public servants. Not now, maybe in the future. We don't know what is happening. There's always more pandemics around the corner. So that is what took place in 2023, really. So it went to the court, and this is what that is the outcome. Now, the Public Service Union has called today's ruling in the mandate, in the case, a travesty of justice. And the 2021 mandate, of course, we all know in St. Vincent left hundreds of public servants without a job for refusing to take that substance. And so the court today, of course, ruled in the government's favor, overturned the first decision made by Justice Esco Henry. And of course, they said the St. Vincent Public Service Union and our sister union, the SVG Teachers Union, Police Welfare Association, are indeed disappointed, dissatisfied by the ruling passed down by the Court of Appeal this morning. This day is symbolic as it reinforces and reminds us why the protection of workers' rights will continue to be a banner and guiding force of trade unions across the globe. The injustice of the vaccine mandate would forever be lodged in the minds of all Vincentians, and the horror and turmoil it caused for hundreds of hardworking citizens and their families throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines would never be forgotten. So the union has come out and said, look, the decision of the court is a travesty of justice. I can tell you, a lot of people really felt it. It was really, really hard for a lot of people, and sometimes people tell you if it doesn't happen to you, if it doesn't come to your doorstep, you won't understand it. And one of these days, you will understand when it gets to your doorstep. Of course, the lawyers responded and they stated today as well that the Court of Appeal issued the majority decision allowing the government's, case today. And they're saying that a powerful dissent was written by Justice Walbank. Remember, I said to you, two judges voted in favor of the government's appeal, one voted against. And Justice Walbank, who maintained that the government's decision to impose the mandate on certain public officers was unlawful and unconstitutional. So one of the justices maintained that the government's decision to impose the mandate on certain public officers was unlawful and unconstitutional. And that is what Justice Esco Henry said in 2023. So one of the judges upheld that. The other two went against that, basically. The Prime Minister and Minister of Health changed the definition of abandonment when they made regulations which prohibited persons who did not take the substance from entering the workplace and which deemed them to have abandoned their job, thus affecting their pension rights. The legal team for the dismissed workers is disappointed in the majority decision delivered by the justices. We believe that Justice Walbank was correct in his dissent and that the High Court decision issued by Justice Henry was strongly grounded in the correct interpretation of the law. We will read and study the judgment to gain a better appreciation of all the views expressed in the decision. Thereafter, we will discuss with our clients all available options, including appeal to the Privy Council, and will take the necessary action. So the lawyers for the public officers who brought the case against the government said, look, they're going to read the judgment, they're going to look for all available options, including an appeal to the Privy Council. And many other persons who are in the legal profession believe that if this case is appealed to the Privy Council, they will win based on precedent has been set in the outer world. A lot of people have taken their case to the Privy Council. They have won it. And many other countries, you just recently saw President Trump reinstated persons in the military who had refused to take that substance and were fired. So it's, it's a kind of thing. And it's really a sad day for Vincentians. And a lot of people today really felt that the judgment would have gone in favor of the public servants based on precedents being set all around the world. And, it's a terrible time. It's really, really terrible. And people, were affected greatly. Their livelihood, some health. I know a lot of persons. I know at least 3 teachers who took that substance and they have already died. They've already died. Of course, there are people who are telling you that they died because they had other ailments. They won't say it's because of that. But when you listen to the teachers and you listen to them tell you what happened to them while they were going through their ailments before they died, you know clearly that is not an ailment they had before. We all know what happened to them. We all know what happened to them. And people around the world have testified on so many occasions about what happened to them after this substance entered their bodies. But of course, like I said, I don't know. The word abandonment, apparently from the dictionary, really means to give up completely a practice or a course of action. But if you show up on a job, I can't see how you abandon the job. But they've changed the whole definition of abandon. Maybe we'll need to put their definition of abandon in the dictionary and remove the one that's inside there. I don't know. But it is a sad day for the public officers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are looking forward for the court to uphold the decision that was made before. And of course, the lawyers for those persons as well are really, really disappointed in what happened. So that is the information coming out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know a lot of persons that would have asked me what took place today. That is the information. I'm sure that other persons in other islands would have maybe gone through similar conditions. Barbados, Trinidad, St. Lucia, Grenada. I don't know what the situation was, but it seemed as if we took it to all different level, all time high in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I just want to tell you that the lines are open. If anyone needs to call in and make a point on this matter, if you're listening, the number to call is 784 533 9260. 784 That is your number to call if you wish to call at this time and make a point. I'm leaving the line open for you. The number is right there on the screen. I'm sure some of you may want to add to this discussion today. Like I said, the lawyers have, the union have termed what happened today a travesty of justice. A lot of other persons are saying it's a dark day in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Your number is 533-9260, whether by WhatsApp or you can call me directly if you need to. And I'm quite sure you would like to weigh in on the matter as well. So if you wish to call, you can call at this time. I just wanted to bring an update on what was happening in St. Vincent and let you know what was the outcome of the case that the public servants had took to the court to deal with the government's mandate to put that substance into their body that they wish not to. Of course, we know by now, a lot of us, that we know by now actually that that substance have caused a lot of problems for a lot of people worldwide. There have been numerous cases. You have read about them. I'm sure you've viewed videos with them, and I think looking back at it now, I thought other persons would have been, or at least, let me take the call first. Let me take the call first. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. I hope everybody listening is doing well. I just wanted to add something
Hmm.
quickly.
Go right ahead.
Listening from Barbados, of course.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is really sad. Uh, what happened there today in St. Vincent. Because I mean, we know of somebody
Hmm.
who took the vaccine and he was very healthy and um, moving around and exercising every day. A very healthy guy, very fit, and he took the vaccine and about maybe a week.
Just before you continue, just for this platform, just a
Mhm.
substance or juice, because this
Okay.
platform has an issue. Anytime you mention that word, it looks like they go crazy, and they tend to do certain things. So we just use the word substance or
Ah,
the juice. It's not a
okay,
problem. Just go right ahead. Yeah,
okay, okay. Well,
yeah.
he took the substance
Hmm.
and unfortunately, um, his wife happened to wake up and he was experiencing a stroke.
Right.
So they took him to the hospital and
Hmm.
luckily they were in Canada, so they have decent health care there, but
Right.
they couldn't trace the stroke back to anything else because he was healthy. So the only
Right.
thing they came to was that it was the vaccine that he had some. Sorry, the that he had some sort of episode from the substance.
Hmm.
But I will add one last thing.
Yeah. No problem.
Over here in Barbados, they when this thing first came out, when they were testing it and whatnot, they were saying it would cure
Uh huh.
the virus. It would cure it and get rid of it. And then the scientists came out and said, no, it wouldn't cure it. It will just prevent you from getting worse.
Hmm.
And then, despite that, people still took it and still ended up passing from the virus. So I mean, I don't. I think this whole thing where they were selling this 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 substance was just to make money, and for control. I don't think it actually does anything. So that's my input for today.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, and I really appreciate you calling in and giving your comments. But like I said, they really have changed the word abandon, and maybe they should use that in the dictionary now. And I really don't know. I think we were test subjects because of what we all know
mhm,
now come out after such a long time. I mean, even Dr. Fauci on in congressional hearing said, "Look, I made up the 6 feet thing. That was never real. I mean, that could have never worked in the
yeah,
first place to begin with." So now that we know all these things, really and truly,
mhm,
governments
mhm,
who would have instituted these things should have dropped these cases a long time ago. But of course, you know how
yeah,
it is. You know how it is, and I mean, we really were test subjects. But I don't know. The lawyers are planning to go to the Privy Council, and it's very expensive
right,
to do so. But
mhm.
I hope they go all the way just to see what the outcome would be.
Well, the fact that
Hmm.
this platform censors even the word is
Yeah,
very
yeah, it's sad.
you know
It is sad. It is sad.
that 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 proves to me that something else is going on. They don't want people to be talking about it, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the point. That's the point. That's the point.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks
All
a lot
right.
for calling. Appreciate it. All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So that was a caller out of Barbados. Um, we will leave the lines open. You can call me via WhatsApp. Like I said, the number is 533-9260. 533-9260. If you wish to make a point, I am going to leave the lines open for a short while, so you can call in. Let me say good afternoon to Noah's World. Said we're the test subjects, of course. Pedro, and Angela, Paula Garnes, of course, Trinidad is in the house, Sharon O, and Lois, and many others, Payne, Josie, African, Ariana Wilson, of course, is in the house as well. Look, guys, if you need to call in and make a point, do that now. The number to call is 533-9260. I'm sure I'm sure that many of you would have had known persons who would have gone through similar experiences, had issues. But you can call me now. You can call me now. I prefer to have you call me and let me know. Nehemiah says in Barbados we still haven't heard anything from the media on this earthquake. Yeah, well that's another story. People are still talking about that till now. Let me see what's all going on here as well. Right. So yes, they said that our governments are engaged in pure evil. That's what somebody's saying as well. So let's see what is happening here. So guys, I just wanted to update you really on what happened in St. Vincent today, where the Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the government. The case was taken to court where persons did not want to take that substance into their arm, and they were basically fired from their jobs. The court, the first judge, Justice Henry in 2023, said, "Look, what the government did was unconstitutional. Reappoint the people, give them back their jobs." The government was not satisfied. They took the case to the Privy Council. The Privy Council, of course, the appeal council, the appeal court, that is, the appeal court today said, "Look, I agree with the government in a 2-1 decision." One judge said, "No, I prefer to go with what the first justice said in the first case, that it was unconstitutional." However, 2-1, of course, is a majority. So so the government won the case. And it's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing, and persons have deemed it to be a very dark day for Saint Vincent. Of course, in the region, a lot of persons were also fired from their jobs, but I think they said that in Saint Vincent we took it to a new level, a different height. We made the word abandon a different thing, and of course, they even changed the word the Maxine. That had a new meaning for Maxine as well. So it's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing. But precedents have been set around the world. Different persons have won cases on this matter. And I believe the matter goes to the Privy Council based on all of the information I'm getting. Definitely, the public servants would win the case. So let's see what will happen in the near future. So, guys, I just wanted to update you on that. Like I said, if you need to call and make a point, the number to call is 784-533-9260. The number is on the screen. If you're not going to do that, I'm going to pack it up because I simply came to give you guys an update on what was taking place in St. Vincent today. The lawyers for the public servants who filed the case, this is what they said. They said the Court of Appeal issued a 2-1 majority decision, allowing the government's appeal in St. Vincent case today. A powerful assent was written by Justice Walbank, who maintained that the government's decision to impose the mandate on certain public officers was unlawful and unconstitutional. It says that the government changed the definition of abandonment when they made regulations which prohibited unvaccinated persons from entering the workplace and which deemed them to have abandoned their job, thus affecting their pension rights. The legal team for the dismissed workers is disappointed in the majority decision delivered by the Justices of Appeal. We believe that Justice Walbank was correct in his dissent and that the High Court decision issued by the Justice Henry was strongly grounded in a correct interpretation of the law. They're also saying that we will read and study the judgment to gain a better appreciation of all the views expressed in the decision. Thereafter, we will discuss with our clients all the available options, including an appeal to the Privy Council, and will take the necessary action. So that is where we are with that case. The government has won the appeal, and the public servants, of course, has lost. And persons are hoping that this matter would go forward. Like I said, the judge, the lawyers for the public officers are saying, look, we're going to read the judgment, study it, and we'll make all the decisions we have to, including taking it to the Privy Council. So that's where it is, guys. And I just wanted to bring an update on what was happening here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on this matter. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We have other videos we do live as well. And we do have a call in program, but of course, it appears that many of us do not wish to speak at this time. So I am going to cut the live here, and I should be back tonight at 7:30 p.m. And I am hoping to have a number of persons on once I could get them today. And maybe at that time, more persons would be willing to make a call and to air their opinions on the matter. Take it easy, guys. Take care.